Yo, what's up, guys? So this is part dos of my alternative ways to break in and get signed, right? Like normal, I forgot some shit, okay? So I want to hit some of that stuff because, I think this stuff is important going into 2023 to put your best foot forward, right? So why not be thorough, right? And some people have said, your videos are too long, man. Well, are you signed? Are you sold? Are you produced? Then I don't think they are, okay? So one thing I forgot to point out, and there's several things, but one thing I forgot, and I'll try to get through as fast as fucking possible. One thing I forgot to point out was, think of stage 32. I pointed out in another video that that one of the dudes they want you to pay to go to is an assistant. So there you go. Why are you paying services to go to an assistant when you can just call them up? You see what I'm saying? And the call begins like this. This is how many words it takes to get to that assistant. Here's the real call. WME, Joe Blow's office, please. 1 second. And then the assistant answers. How many words is that? 7. Okay? 7 words, not $700. You see the difference? You can do 50 calls like that in a week, no problem. Times that by $700. How much is that? I don't know. I'm not doing the math for you. But you get my point? The other thing about that is I think it's a bad look for the assistant to go out like that because they say right there in their disclaimer, these services like this, they do not represent the company. So if that's the disclaimer, if it was me, if I was the assistant, I would not be a part of none of that, okay? Because it's a bad look. It says you're willing to risk like everything to get a few $100. The company doesn't know what you're saying. Who knows if you're giving terrible advice or posing this way or that way? I wouldn't recommend it, man. So this is someone I wouldn't even want to speak to, and why? Because I've seen assistants get way ahead of themselves and crash and burn many times, and that will be in a different video, like some do's and don'ts strictly for assistants, youngsters assistants who want to fucking break in as an assistant in a shit I've seen over 20 fucking years. Back to writing. Why do I think the email is fucking terrible? I mean, just think of it in common sense. Why do I think calls are way better? Think of it in common sense. Isn't the whole... Well, let me say this first. How easy is it for you to ignore an email or delete it or even a text? Your mom or your sister texts you. You're going to be like, I'm busy, I'll get to that in a minute. And if they call you and you're like, hello, now you're stuck. Hey mom, what's up? You know what I mean? Now you're fucking stuck, all right? It's more immediate. The whole point of a query email, in my opinion, is to get them on the phone, right? So why not just skip that step and just call them? Now you're in a meeting right now. Now you're in a general meeting, essentially, right now. You know what I mean? The other thing is, I forgot to point out is, let's say you're a writer and you're like, my writing's like very similar like to Tony Gilroy. I want to go to Tony's agent and I bet they'll love it. Why won't they? Okay. Even if they did, the problem is, okay, how much money do you make? You know what I mean? What have you done? And then you're gonna be like, none. Okay? So, and they're gonna be like, bingo, that's why I can't sign you. The other thing is, I already have Tony Gilroy. I already have the real one. I don't need Tony Gilroy Light. Tony Gilroy number 2. So, what I would suggest is you go talk to my assistant. They might need, the next Tony Gilroy. I don't need that. And my roster is fucking packed, Here's another thing. when if you have the guts to do this call, which here's why I don't mind saying this tip, because I know even if 200 people, even if this went viral and 1,000 people saw this, right? That's semi-viral, right? For writers. Even if it did those kind of numbers, which I don't care, but even if it did, I know that out of that, realistically, my videos get about 100-ish sometimes, generally. I know that from that 100, 1% will do this. So still no one's in your way, okay? So, because a lot of people are scared to pick up the phone. But if you got the guts, you do pick up the phone, don't give them a reason to pass. What do I mean by that? If they say yes, then shut the fuck up and goodbye. You know what I mean? Don't keep talking, especially about plot. And and they might ask you a little bit about plot, blow that off. Do not start talking about plot, because what they're trying to do is figure out if it's a pass before they have to fucking read it. So just say, it's in the, make a joke out of it. That's all in the script, man. I can't wait for you to read it and hear your thoughts, make a joke out of it. Get out of that conversation. What I mean, what I meant last time is if they ask you hey, where you from, man? That shit's okay to talk about if they want to keep talking. Okay. Oh, I'm from, where you, are you in LA? Where you at? You're like, no, I'm in Nebraska. And they're like, oh, no shit, where about? And you're like, oh, over here. And they're like, no way, I'm gonna be out there for the holidays. My grandmother lives out there, or my parents live out there or something. And you're like, oh, cool, right on. Hey, you wanna grab coffee? Love to meet you in person. Then yeah, fuck yeah, keep talking. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Do not talk about plot. Plot will get people confused real quick. And my point here is think of what all their objections could be. And don't take no for an answer straight away. Just if they say, and here's what I fucked up in the last video, where I said unsolicited material only. You guys know I meant solicited material only, right? But if they say that we only accept solicited material. That's what they'll say, generally. But they might be confused because they're so used to hearing writers try to get at their boss, They get these calls all the time. And then be clear, no. No. I'm not trying to get to your boss. I'm trying to get to you. I would imagine that you're probably, building out your roster right now and, perhaps hit pocketing a few writers so that when you make agent or manager, you can hit the ground running. I'm trying to be like first writer in with you and get my script to you, not your boss. Here's the thing there. What if they haven't thought of that? What if their boss is like, I don't give a fuck if they make, what if their boss is an asshole and is like, I don't really care if they make agent or manager. And so they haven't really thought of that. Oh shit, I should be building my client base right now. If I have writers reaching out to me, they're trying to get to me as the assistant, what the fuck? And I'm not doing anything about it? And this writer just told me that you should probably hit the ground running and start building your shit out. Maybe they'll be like, oh shit, that is true. Yeah, send it to me. You might be the first one to reach out to them. So then say, if they say, well, I can't accept scripts here. Then you say, oh, no problem. I'm happy to send it to you off the clock. You have a response to every no. Figure out, I can't tell you what all of them would be, but write them all out and figure out what your comeback is. So it's real hard for them to say no. And, but you're not aggressive about it. You're just like joking about it, kind of, So that's kind of it, I think. Try to get in and get the fuck out of there. All you're looking for is someone to say, yes, I will read it. Great, goodbye, pull the parachute, you're gone. And then keep going. And, keep going, keep calling people, and you'll get reads, dude. You get reads if you're not scared of this, and you don't fuck up the call, And because a lot of writers are timid, that the first little sign of like, oh, sorry, we don't accept unsolicited material. They'll be like, oh, I'm okay, thank you. I'm sorry to waste your time. Like, when you could have kept that conversation going and probably could have got a read out of it if you would have just ignored the objections and had the comeback for why it's okay for them to read it. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't read. Oh, I'm happy to sign an NDA. Whatever their objection is, you know, I'm happy to sign not an NDA, sorry, a release form. You see where I'm going with that? So there we go. I think that kind of like wraps up that. So good luck, guys. Try this shit in the new year. And but if you're going to agents or whatever, managers, you want to go to the big dogs, go ahead, try that too. But I'm saying right now you could try this with assistants right now, today. Okay? How much time you got left? What time is it? Probably got an hour, 2 hours left, maybe. Start trying this shit. Go ahead, do it. Okay? Later. Good luck, guys.